Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome in the sewing room. I've got a new little camera mount that's straight in front of me. I don't know. It's just something new. Instead of the tripod that's big and bulky. We're going to give it a shot. At least over on this side, it's magnetic, and I don't have anything metal over there to hook it to. I know. So I have to stick you back on tripod when I take you over there. But here it gives us just a little more room on our table. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. And I've got a package. Yeah, I did go ahead and open it because I didn't know what it was. Y'all, I can't wait. I get anxious. I want to make this little dress right here. Isn't that cute? And because of the way the seams are, you've got a seam all the way down the front of the top and the skirt and the back and the center of the bag. You've got all these seams. And I've got all kinds of charm packs, 5-inch squares, tons of them, stacks of them. And there's one particular line of Moda that I just love. It's called Raspberry Summer. It's new, and I love all of those. And I had a charm pack of that and another one that was Moda fabrics that had the same colors in it. And then just some other fabrics from various and sundry places that also went well. And I had a little bit of yardage of the Modas that go with it. I don't think either one of these is Raspberry Summer. This one is Favorite Things. Let's see what this one is, Favorite Things. But it's the same red that's in some of this other. Okay? So here's the Raspberry Summer. It's the same colors. Okay? So we're going to use some of this. And all these down here, I'll bring y'all down here and let you see them. Look at all these. See all those prints? Look at them. I got to take a picture of that and put it on the Etsy shop because it's too big. It's way too big for me. Look at all these. Got all these little 5-inch squares here and our yardage. Okay? So, we're going to make this dress. And the top, we're going to do out of these two pieces that I have yardage of. And the bottom, we're going to make out of all these squares. So we kind of have to patchwork it together. I'll show you how we're going to do that in a minute. Just a minute. But first, I want to show y'all what I got. And this came from Wilson. That's the only, I guess that's the last name. In Georgia. In Georgia. There's something else down in there too, I think. That maybe I've not seen. Seems like I can feel something. Oh, stickers to go on the back, I'm assuming. So, looks like we have got lots of rulers. Lots and lots of rulers. Lots and lots of rulers. Here's another one. And y'all, I like this. Look at this. It's got great big numbers. I'll turn it this way because I've got a protective film on them. Big numbers for old people eyes. And this one is cut down into 3 by 3. But look at those little tiny pieces. This is a whole set that they have sent me. I think it said last name was Wilson. Willis. Last name is Willis. Y'all, I can't read either. Willis. Last name is Willis. So thank you, Willis. That's all I'm going to give out. I'm not going to give out the full name because, you know, I don't like to do that. But these are nice little rulers. A nice set of rulers for old people eyes like mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rulers in this little set. I'm tickled to death that y'all think about me when you're out shopping or when you're online shopping. This one was sent probably just from an online shopping. And then here are our sticky dots to put on the back to keep it from sliding everywhere. Listening, I thought I heard a commotion. Nope, I think we're good. You never know around here. We could have a commotion, that's for sure. That is for sure. And these are little grippy dots that will help it grip to your, and these are really grippy, y'all. Will help it grip to your fabric. I've got 2 pages of these right here. 2 pages. So we'll get all that up and running. I'll keep this little bag. That's a handy, good little zipper bag. Very good, heavy zipper bag. In case I have something I need to mail out or something, that's a good one. I try to recycle and reuse all kinds of things like that because, number one, they're expensive. You have to buy them. And number two, saves them from the landfill and gives them a little more life. Yes, it does. So thank you, Miss Willis, for this. I appreciate it more than you know. I love that you all connect with me and go, oh my goodness, she needs that. And you just think about me and you buy it and you send it to me just as it just warms my heart. It's like Christmas Day when I get an extra package. It really is. It really, really, really is. So now let's get started on our quilt pieces that we're going to do. I'm going to put y'all back on the tripod so I can turn you down and up, okay? So y'all just hold on a minute. Okay, first off, we've got to put our pattern together. And some of you all said, oh, I can never do that. I cannot put those, can't print them off and put them together. Yes, you can. I promise you can do this. You can do this. Let me get a hold of the instructions there on the front here. That's our instructions on how we're going to put it together. And I'm probably going to change that up just a hair bit because I want to line the bottom of my skirt just for comfort. All right, here is the main piece to your pattern. It shows you, here's your legend, just like you have with a map, or we used to have back in the day when we had old paper maps. You had a legend that showed you the line for the county, the line for the city, the line for the state, you know, all those things. That's what this is. And this shows you the lines for your pattern sizes right in here. Okay? Now, down here, it shows you how to lay your pieces out and how to put them together to make your great big pattern sheet. Okay? So right here, it shows you. And that is just a small diagram of the way they go together. And if you look, you can see it's got P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, and then it drops down to 7 through 12 and then 13 through 18. Okay, so that tells you how your pieces are numbered. All right, and here I've got P1. So it goes right up here on the top corner. Okay, and here I have P2, and it will go right here. And you have to match these lines. Let me get my paper scissors. Let's see, this side I need to cut. You always want to cut the left-hand margin off of your pieces. Okay? The left-hand margin. And then we're just simply going to tape it together. Right here, it shows you 2 little arrows right here and 2 little arrows right here that you want to make come together. Right like that. Okay? Let me grab me some tape. Okay, I've got a new roll of Scotch tape here. And you're going to put those together right like that, matching those little dots right there. Bring y'all down a little bit closer. I want y'all to see this because you all can do this. Okay? You just want to match them. See how that comes together right there? And put you a piece of tape right there. And then come right down here, pull that together, and tape that. Just like that. All right, now then, here we have P3. So this one goes right here. And as you can see, you've got just a little piece of this on this one. So you definitely need to cut this and lay it on there. If you don't, you're going to miss a piece of this particular pattern piece. Okay? So here we go again. We're going to match this right here. Match, match. And see how that came in right there? That part of that pattern came in right there. And that's what you need for this. You want to make sure that you get that right there matched. Because honestly, this right up here, this is waist. I'm going to put just a little piece of tape on it just to kind of hold it. But you don't have to be as precise. Okay? Because that's just waist. Here's P4. Now this one needs to match exact. Because this is actually part of our pattern. Right here. And you want to make sure that you get all of these taped down good, all the sizes. Okay? Come in here and tape that at the bottom. And here is P5. Let's see, how many did I say we had? We have to go over 6. And we're going to do the first row, and we're going to start the second row, so I'm going to show you how to start it. And then I'll finish this up, cut it out, and then I'll come back with you, okay? All right, so here's this one. It's the next one. Matching up our little arrows and taping down good. You want to tape through all the sizes so that it's all held together. And one more on this row, and then we start our next row. Okay? All right, now then, P7 starts right back down here. Okay, turn y'all just a little bit. P7 starts right here. Okay, because that's what this right here tells us. This is where P7 goes below P1. Okay, so P7. And we do not need to trim this off because that is what we will lay P8 on top of. All right, so P7, let's get this down here flat. Goes right here, but you do need to trim off the top, the little top edge. You can fold it under if you can do that. Do you want to match your arrows? Okay, I turned you off for a minute because I had a phone call. But now we're back. Okay, do you see how I've done P8? I cut up the left side and across the top. I trimmed that. So this will lay flat down here, just like so. Here's my tape. I was about to lose my tape. And you want to match all 4 of these. The 2 on the side and the 2 at the top, just like this. And you want to put your tape right there. All right, let's get this down here because that is a piece that we're going to need. And we're going to continue this. I went ahead and trimmed all of them while I was talking, though. I did. We're going to continue this. We're going to do all the way across this row. We've got one more row, and then we'll come back, and after I do this, I'm going to cut them out to the size that I need, and I'll tell y'all how to do that in just a minute. Okay, here is your size chart for this pattern, and it is a very good size chart, I think. It shows you where to measure your bust, your waist, and your hips. Okay, and then it gives you your measurements down here in centimeters and inches. Okay, see that? So you want to take your measurements, whatever they may be, and you want to find the most common size that they come to. Not everybody's going to be the same size, their bust, their waist, and their hips. Most people are going to be a little bit different, okay? So you want to find the one that's going to fit the largest measurement that you have, okay? And mine just happens to be my hips. I've always had big hips. I'll always have big hips. It's just a family trait. We have a big booty. So mine will be the hip measurement. So I want to go with that. And then I want to find the pattern size that closest resembles that, okay? Now my bust measurement is probably my smallest measurement, okay? So I want to find that particular size. And then let's just say I'm between a small and a large. What I want to do is, with my top, my bust measurement being the small, and my hip measurement being a large, I want to try to come in here and somewhere around where I'm cutting my size small to make the large down the top here and the top part of the skirt, I want to angle that. And this will show you on your pattern pieces, and you just want to cut that at an angle, okay? Like right here. Here's your small, your medium, your large, your extra large, so forth and so on. So what you want to do when you're cutting this is, if this is your hip measurement right here, I'm going to show the outside ones because I think it'll be easier. If this is your hip measurement and this is your waist measurement or your bust measurement, as you're cutting this top portion, you want to cut down through here, down through there, until you come out to here, and you want to make that a nice smooth cut. And that way it gives you that extra width to get across your hip, okay? That's what I'm going to do, all right? To make mine fit, because then it will fit perfectly. That's how you make custom clothing, okay? All right, so I've got this piece semi-cut out, just in a big sheet. I'm going to finish cutting out my pattern pieces to my measurements and my size. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to start piecing our skirt part, okay? All righty, now then, we're going to start piecing our skirt. And it'll be a front and a back. And no, I'm not putting that seam down the center of my skirt, because I'm going to have so many seams. I'm going to take my patchwork fabric that I create, fold it in half, and lay that piece down and cut it. You do not need that seam down that center. You don't on that skirt. And so I'm just going to start picking up my fabrics here, one at a time. And I'm going to start sewing them together. And I'm using my serger because I don't want all these raw edges to ravel on the inside of my dress. And they will. Okay, so for this particular quilting project, I'm serging the whole thing instead of using the machine. Let me find my foot pedal. Y'all know they travel on you, and they try to hide, and they get away, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to start sewing two pieces together, here and there, and so forth, and so on, and what have you, until I get a whole bunch of 2 pieces, and then I'm going to sew the 4 pieces, and then I'll sew the 8 pieces, okay? Until I get it the width that I need to make my skirt, all right? So y'all go get your little 5-inch squares or your 10-inch squares or whatever size pieces you want to use, sew them together, make you a big piece of fabric, and come back, and then we'll get our dress cut out, okay? We're back. It's been 2 days ago. 2 days. We've been working on this dress. No, we haven't. I had things I had to do yesterday, so I didn't get up here with you all. I know, I missed you. I did. But here are strips, and I've decided to change the way I'm making it. Yes, I am. I know. That's just me. That's just me. Here's my strips. I've got 8 5-inch squares in my strips. These are too long. Yeah, they are. I've also cut just some 5-inch wide strips out of some fabrics that go with all this. Okay? So, we're still kind of making it patchworky, quilty looking. But I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. We are going to take our strips and we're going to lay a strip down, and then we're going to put a patchwork piece, okay? And we're going to sew them together. Right down here along your long sides, all the way across, until we have our fabric, okay? We're just making our fabric. That's what we're doing. We're piecing it together and making our fabric. And instead of going around, because round waist stripes make you look bigger, and no woman ever wants to look bigger. We all want to look smaller and taller. Or at least I always wanted to look smaller and taller. If you want to look shorter and wider, make them go around. If you want to look smaller and taller, make them go up and down. So that's what I'm doing. I'm making these go up and down. Okay? Change that up on you just a little bit, because I was planning to patchwork the whole thing, and then I thought, let's rethink this. And I do that a lot. Yes, I do. So, I'm going to get to sewing here on the serger, just like I did the others, because I don't want raw seams. Because this is a dress, it's not a quilt, and they're not going to be hidden, they'll be seen. Although I am going to line the bottom of it just for comfort, in case all this, rub up against you and stuff, won't be as comfortable. So I'm going to get to sewing my strips all together, and I'll bring y'all back when we get ready to cut out the rest of our dress, okay? So go sew all your strips together and then come back. Are y'all ready to cut this dress out? I am. It seems like I've been working on this dress for forever. But that's what happens when you decide to create your own fabric pieces. Takes you a while to get it pieced together. But I did. Yay me. I got them all pieced. All right. Now then, this is the skirt front and this is the skirt back. Okay. Now then, you have to decide which piece you want to be the front and which piece you want to be the back. And you know what? I really don't know. I think this will be the front. All right. That piece will be the front. This will be the back. And you can see right here it says center back. And I didn't trim that real close. None of it. I trimmed real close all the way around. And what I've done, I'm going to turn y'all down so you can see. I pieced my fabrics. See this? All pretty in here. Get the threads off of it. So I've got it folded. I'm not going to put a seam down here because I've already got my seam. Okay, so that seam I've already cut. Okay, I've already sewn that seam up. So we need to come in here about wherever this is going to fall. And you can go, actually I've got this upside down. Let's flip it over this way. Okay, now then. Let's flip it this way so y'all can see what we're doing. Trying to make this easy peasy for you all, but sometimes I'm not successful. All right, can y'all see this now? All right, we've got it all laid out here. And this top up here should be even or fairly even, but I'm going to bring it down just a hair bit and pop that pattern on there just like that. And you can see I've got some down here that I'm not going to be using. And if you decide that, hey, I don't think I want that fabric, I want it to start right there, well, you've got some room. And you can pull that down just like that. Start it right there. Or, you know, wherever you want to do that, you can do it. Okay? And let's see. I can even bring it all the way down to here. I think. Yep. I can bring it all the way down to here. But I don't think it really matters because it's just all pieced together. And this is the back. Yeah, so let's just go up here. Right here. Right like this. Get us some pins. Or if you've got pattern weights, if that's what you use. Good grief, y'all. These hadn't been opened. I thought they had been. No wonder I can't get the top off of it, right? Okay, I'm going to pull this over here and pin that. Make sure that you've got that on that seam in the center front or center back seam, okay? Make sure you've got that lined up on that seam. Okay. Now then, these are your notches, I'm sure, okay, for this pattern. All right, now let's get out our good scissors. And we're going to cut this out. And like I said, you want to use your measurements. And that'll go in the scrap bin. All right, so there's our back. That's the back of the skirt. Let's cut out the front. And we're also going to line this. And I'm going to show y'all how to do that here in just a minute. All right, let's see what we got going on here. This is the center. Let's flip it over this way for you all. This is the center. This is the center. We'll pull this up just like that. Get that lined up good right there. Pin her down good. Y'all, this weather, I'm telling you, the sun will be out and it'll be blazing hot 1 minute. And the next minute it's absolutely pouring the rain. And then the next minute, the sun is out again. I think Mother Nature is off her meds. She has gone completely wacko. At least today. All right. All that right there will go into the scrap bin. Okay, now then, do y'all want to put pockets in it? I do. Let's find our pocket pattern. I'll be right back when I find the pocket pattern. Okay, here's our pocket pattern. It's just one I printed off. It was free. It came from Helen's Closet Patterns. Shout out to her for giving us a free pattern. You need to cut 4 of this. You also need to cut 4 of your lining fabric for this, okay? So, So I'm going to cut 8 of my lining fabric because it doesn't need to be patchworked. The pocket does not. Okay. All right. Now then, to make it scrappy, we're going to do our front out of this blue and our back out of this red, just because I just love these two fabrics. So first off, I need to cut my selvage off of this blue one right here. I've not done that yet, and we want to save our selvages for something pretty. Yes, we do. Move that because I don't want to cut that off. All right. Here we go. We need 2 of the front. I'll make the front blue. This is the front. It says to cut 4, but I'm going to cut 2 out of the white for the lining, okay? So I'm just going to cut 2 because this top is lined, and I'm just going to line the skirt because I want it lined, okay? And this center front, I am going to make a seam. So actually, let's put it this way. This way y'all can see. I won't flip it on you. Want to make sure you get it lined up straight. All right. Pin her down so we can get her cut out here. This little dress has some darts in it for the top to make it fit nice. This would also make a cute little jumper for fall and winter. Make it out of something heavier like a denim or something. Wear it with some leggings and a turtleneck. That would be so adorable. I love simple little dresses. I do. I wear them year round because they are so comfortable. My grandmother always wore a dress. She did. She always had on a dress. They were called house dresses. Do y'all remember that? They were house dresses. She'd say, oh, I've got to change out of my house dress. Okie doke. Now, see, we've got this left over we can use for something else. All right, now then let's cut out our back, and then we're going to cut the exact same pieces out of our lining, okay? This is the back. And go ahead and whack this off. Get it out of the way. Okay. Now then, here's our back. The center of the back, right here, is right there. So it goes like this right here. Okay? This leaves us this bigger piece all in one piece. Okay? That's what you want. When you're cutting something out like this, you want to make sure you leave your, if you can, unless it has to be cut on the fold. And then sometimes I've been known to fold my fabric again to get that fold. And y'all, I'm going to tell you, when you go to making your own clothes, you need to measure yourself. You cannot say, well, if I go in a store, I buy a large or a medium or extra large, or, oh, this says it comes all the way up to a 4X and that's what I wear. Patterns do not run the same as ready-made garments. They do not. They tend to almost always, 99% of the time, will run smaller. Your patterns will say, actually, they will be like sized. Okay, so this is the center back. I'm looking at this thinking, okay, something's not right here. That did not make sense because I did not cut this all the way out. I'm thinking it looked awfully big and it did not look just right to me. Okay, yeah, now I got it. Because I was wondering where all these pieces up here went. There you go, my attention span. It's not real good. So measure yourself, then look at your pattern, and you can't say, well, this pattern I wore this size, so that's what I'll make in this garment. It doesn't work that way. You have to have your measurements written down. Make you a sewing journal. Or maybe I can come up with you all a sewing journal for garments. And write your measurements down. Or if you're sewing for somebody else, write those measurements down. Look at your pattern and then find the closest one that you can that is on the large side. You can always take it up, but you cannot let it back out if you cut it too small. Okay? So with all that being said, you need to make sure that you always leave the extra to be cut. Okay? I'm not going to use those. I'm going to use these others because I'm cutting this paper. They do not cut as well, but I don't want to dull those by cutting this paper pattern as I'm cutting this out. Okay, now we've got that piece right there to save for something else. Let's cut this right up through here. Okay, now then, for our pockets, like I said, we're going to cut 8 pockets. So here's a smaller piece. Let's see, what have we got going on here? I'm just using this white cotton that I've had. I've washed it, dried it, ironed it as best I could. You can still see it needs to be pressed some, but it is what it is, as they say. Let's see what we can cut here for our tops and our pockets, because we can cut pockets out of these pieces right along here. We can cut us a pocket. Always make sure, especially if you're working with a one-way design or a napped fabric, that you lay your pattern pieces all the same way. That means the tops all lay to the left or right, whichever you decide to do, however you've got your fabric. You do not want to lay a top and a bottom. So you do not want to lay it like this, okay? Because if this is a one-way design, it's going to go this way on the front and this way on the back, okay? So this needs to be laid like this, okay? But because this is not a one-way design, I can do that with this particular pattern. And this is a lining, and it is solid white. I'm, you know, breaking one of my cardinal rules here that you're not supposed to do. And I generally do not do that. Here's our pocket pattern. That's what I'm looking for. So we can cut 2 pockets here and 2 here. So that gives us half the pockets that we need. And I'll show you all what I mean when I tell you you need pockets for the lining and pockets for the dress. When we start sewing it up, it will all make sense. Okay? So let me get all this cut out. I'm also going to cut my skirt patterns again out of white so that I've got duplicate pieces: front skirt, front bodice, back bodice, and pocket. Okay? Alrighty. Are y'all ready to start putting this dress together? I am. Seems like I've been working on it for months. I've had the pattern for a long time. Here are the instructions that come with this. And here it shows you, I think, is that your yardage? Yeah, this is your yardage, how much you'll need for each size. Now, mind you, this is to cut the top lining, but not the skirt. So if you want to make it and line your skirt like I am, you will need more fabric than this. So keep that in mind. And it tells you here how to print and assemble, which we've already done that. And here it tells you kind of how to lay out your pieces. Here it shows you your measurements and how to measure right here. So here it shows you how to measure your bust, your waist, and your hips. And I've marked mine and I'm not sharing. But there's a little chart down at the bottom. So you pick out your size right there. Now we come to our sewing instructions. All right. And it's very clearly marked. The right side of the fabric is colored. The wrong side of the fabric is kind of a cream color, a beige. That's the wrong, this is the right. You can see that. Very easy to read. Alrighty. Okie doke. So it shows us. We start with we'll put these pieces right back here because this is our skirts. And these are our tops. Okay. Lay that right over there, out of our way for the moment. Okay. So it tells us step 1. Place the front bodice piece on a flat surface with the wrong side facing up. The front bodice with the wrong side facing up. All right. We're going to do that. Let me grab a pin cushion. Somewhere to stick all these pins. The front, the wrong sides facing up. Right like this. My guess is we're going to make these darts first, if I had to guess. Use fabric chalk to trace the dart lines. That's exactly what we're going to do. And I'm going to grab my handy dandy little chalk marker right here that you can change the color in. Love this little thing. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's mark our darts right here. All right, here we go. We're going to mark these darts. And I can't see that. A bit more than the man in the moon. Okay, we're going to poke you a hole right through there. Right there. I don't know if that went through there or not. Let's see. It did just a tiny little bit, so let's make that just a little bit bigger. Actually, we could cut this, couldn't we? I just whacked that out of there, just like that, pretty as you please. Now then, we're going to draw us a line right here. See that? Can y'all see? I drew a line right there. Now then, for this one, we're going to flip it over. Going to lay it down right here. And we're going to draw this line. All right. There we go. Now then, we've got to do the same thing with this right here. Okay? I'm going to lay one this way, and then I'm going to flip it over and mark the other one. Because these pieces have to match. Okay? All right, there we go. Now then, we'll take this over there. I'm going to bring these together right like this. Matching those lines up all the way to this point right here. And I'm going to stitch right along that line, right up through there on all 4 pieces. And I'll be right. Okay, now then, we've got to sew our fronts together in the center. Okay, right here. Our center front seam right there on our fabric pieces and on our lining pieces. Okay, and it says to use a 1 centimeter seam, and I'm not sure what 1 centimeter is. I'm just using like maybe a 1/4 of an inch seam and going with it. Then we've got to press this. And since I'm using the serger, I'm going to press this one this way and the lining the other way, okay? So let me press them. I'll be right. All right, now then, we're going to take our front, which is this piece right here, and our back, which is this piece right here, or these 4 pieces actually. Ouch. This is why I don't like pins. I stab myself with them. I do all the time. That over there. Now then, our back pieces, we're going to sew this stuff together at the shoulder seams. Okay? Making sure our sides and our centers are all facing the same direction. We're going to sew this right here, the shoulder seams, right there and right there. Same thing with our linings, and then I'll come right back to you. Okay, now then, we've got this right side, pretty side up, because it's got our pretty side of our seam, okay? We've got this one, pretty side down, okay? Pretty sides together. Now then, we want to match these seams like this, and we want to clip or pin, and since I've got pins, I'm going to pin. I always pin right on through my seam, okay? Right through here. I always pin the seam itself. And we're going to come up here and we're going to pin our shoulder seams together. making one go one way and one go the other because these are serged seams and not, couldn't press them open. But if you're just using your regular machine and you've zigzagged your pieces, or you have used pinking shears on them, you can do the other, okay? And press them open. Okay, we're going to pin and sew around the inside of the neck and the top of the neck piece, okay? We're not going down the center back. We are not sewing the center back. We are sewing around the neck, and we are sewing under the armholes, okay? So we are going to sew, and I'm going to use my machine for this rather than the serger because I need to be able to clip this seam to turn it pretty, and I can't do that with a serge seam because then you cut your seam and it all comes apart. So we're not doing the side seam, just the armholes and around the neck, okay? Matching our shoulder seams and our center front seam. I didn't tell you, but when you press your darts down toward the bottom, okay? You must always press your darts down. Some patterns you may press them up, but you just need to see how they were cut. Okay, so we're going to sew around the armholes, both armholes, this seam right here, and around the neck, this center seam right here. Okay, and I'll be right back when I get that done. Okay, I sewed all 3 of those seams. Now it says to turn it through the shoulder. And that means you're going to come up here in the shoulder seam and you're going to start turning it. You're going to turn the whole thing. Okay, the whole entire thing will come through here. Then we're going to press it. Does it tell us to top stitch it? I'm going to. Okay, there's that. Now let's pull this one through this shoulder. Now we're going to press it good, and doesn't say to top stitch it, but I'm going to. Let's see if it tells us to do it later. We can wait till later to top stitch it, but I think I will once I get the side seams done and the other. All right, I'm going to go press it down really good, okay? Steam it, press it, use your pressing spray, whatever, but you want to get it pressed very well. All right, now the next step is to sew the back up. And to do that, you're going to open this up, right like this, pretty sides together all the way like this. And you're going to match these seams right here, right like that, just like you would if you were quilting. You've got your outside fabric on this side, your lining fabric on this side, and you're going to sew this seam up right straight down through there, okay? Let's put us a pin right there to hold that where it needs to be. And I'm going to use the serger for this seam. Alrighty. Then I think we'll do the same thing with the side seams. Okie doke. Now then, I'm going to sew this up and I'll be right back. All right, see how that did? Just did beautiful. See this? That's your top of your neck seam right there. And it comes right straight down through there, just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Perfect. We're going to do the same thing with our sides. Open them up. Pretty side to pretty side. And stitch. Okay? All the way down through here on the lining and your fabric. Right down through there. I'll be right back when I get those done in turn. Okay. Here's our bodice. And the bodice is finished. Okay? Mine may be too big. And if it is, well, I'll take it up. That looks awful big. Maybe it won't be. Hopefully it won't be. But I feel like it's going to be about that much too big. But we're going to persevere and finish it. Okay? This goes down here. We don't need that. This piece we are finished with. That piece we are finished with. We need our skirt pieces and our pocket pieces. Are they here? Here's our pockets. Yay, our pockets. All right, now then, for this part of our dress, we do not need to make the front seams because we cut ours on the fold. So that's good. This is the front right here. This is the front. This is the back. And the back I'm going to mark with a chalk. What did I do with it? I just had it. Here it is. The back I'm going to mark with chalk. Right here. Good little chalk line right down through there. And on the wrong side of this one. Right down through there. Just so I know that this is the back. Alrighty? Okie doke. Now then, first off, we have to attach our pockets to both the skirt and the lining. Okay? Hold those up, get them out of the way. So, to do that, here are our pocket pieces. I mean, you know, a good summer dress needs a pocket. You gotta have somewhere to put your phone and your keys. We could have put patch pockets on it, but I like these kind of pockets. All right, so first off, we're going to take two pieces. All right, this is our back and that's our center. So over here on the side, you want to come down just a little bit from your waist. Okay, because you're going to have a seam up here and you need to be able to sew down, then turn, and then come in, okay? So I'm going to drop that down to about right there. And I'm going to measure this. And I'm going to see how much that is. Right there. It's about not quite 1.5 inches. Let's just go ahead and make it 1.5 inches. Really, it's a little more than that because that point turner right there. But that's where we're going to set it, right there. And we're going to do this on the front and the back of each piece. All 4 pieces, both sides. You want to make sure that you're sewing them. Not one on this side of the fabric and one on this side. You want this one to go on this side. Okay? Same thing. Going to come up here and you're going to measure that down right there and you're going to find where that is and you're going to lay that right there just like that. Pull this down through there and you're going to stitch this right down through here. Okay? And we're going to do this on all 4 pieces. Okay? Right here we go. We want to put it on the pretty sides. Okay? So let's measure down through here. Okay, here's this one. This one goes right here. Flip this over and add this one. Just measure from the top down. Right here we go. All right, I'm going to do this to the front, and then I'm going to stitch these right down through here. 1/4 inch seam. Boom, right down through there. All right, when I do that, I'll be right back. Okay, now then, it's time to put our pieces together. Yes, it is. This is our back, I believe. Yes, it is. That's the back. This is the back. This is the front. And this is the front. We're going to lay these pretty sides together with our pockets opened up just like this. Okay? Pretty sides together, pockets opened up. And we are going to stitch straight around here. Okay? My pockets may not be the same size. That's okay. I'll just stitch it. All right, we're going to put some pins in it. And we're going to take this over there to the machine because it's hard to do these pockets like this. Get them to turn pretty when you use a serger. So, we're going to take it to the machine and we are going to sew. We're going to stitch right down through here. Come down to here and you want to stay on this seam that you've already sewn your pocket. Pivot right there and go around. Stitch all the way around your pocket. Come back to this seam right here. Stop on that seam, pivot, and then finish down your dress. Okay? You want to do that for all 4 seams. To your lining, both side seams from your lining, and both side seams of your skirt. Okay? And if mine is too big, I shall take it out of the middle. And Lord knows that is way too big for me. I believe. I think this would fit the Jolly Green Giant. But I went by my measurements. So we're going to see if it fits. If it doesn't, it may end up in the Etsy store. I don't know. Because I really wanted this dress. So we're going to see if we can't make it work. Okay. Making sure all those seams match up pretty. All right, I'll be back when I sew these 4 seams. All right, we're back. And guess what? This dress is like huge, big enough for me and all of you to fit into. So we're not going to take it all apart. We are going to step back and punt. You know, we're playing football here sometimes, and sometimes you don't make your first down, and I did not. Not by a long shot with this dress did I get my first down or my touchdown. So I'm going to back up and punt and start over. So, since we don't have any more of our beautiful blue or our red gingham that I just loved for this particular project, and I have to drive quite a ways to get this particular fabric, and I'm not planning to go that direction for a few days, maybe even a week or more, and I might want to wear this dress and I want to finish it. I don't want to leave it left unfinished. We're going to change it up. We're going to use this piece of red for our front. And maybe this piece of white for the back, or the white for the front and the red for the back. We've also got an orange piece. And the orange would be okay for the back, and I may do that. Make the back out of the orange. And I might just make the front out of the white or the red. I don't know. Part of me likes the red. It's a different grouping of fabrics, but it's all the same colors. So we can mix that up. And I think I like the red better than adding more white to this. See, if I add the white, this is what it's going to look like. And this is what the red looks like. What do y'all think? What's your vote? And then I'll do what I want to, because I won't know what you voted for till after it's finished. Red or white? I think I'll go with the red. Save the white for something else. All right. This was also way too low in the front, like way too low. It needs to come up quite a bit, this front center seam does. It needs to come in like this much on each side. And the armholes are way too big. If you're going to wear something under this, like a t-shirt, and you want to make it for fall, maybe wear a turtleneck under it or a blouse, then it's fine the way it is. But I want to wear it as a summer sleeveless dress. This is not. There is no way I could wear that without a t-shirt under it. And that's not what I want to do. So this shall go into the scraps, because we'll cut it up and put it in things. We won't ever throw it out. No, we will not. And I'm going to cut this pattern. I'm going to cut my sleeves way up here. As a matter of fact, I'll use this right here, because this was way too low. So I'm going to rework this and cut it out and remake the top. You all saw me make it the first time. You don't need to see me remake it. So I'm going to go remake my top, and I'll be back when we get ready to finish our dress. All right, here we go. I got us a new top made. And I've already started pinning it because I thought I was videoing, but I wasn't, so I'm going to unpin it. But I am going to keep these two pinned together, the skirt and the skirt lining. All right, we're going to keep that together. Here's my top. Made me another top. I tried it on. This one fits a lot better. See, it's a lot smaller. And I made it come up further because that other one was way down to here. I mean, it was cut way down here. That was way too low to wear as a dress. If you're wearing it as a jumper with something under it, then you would be okay. But I wanted it just a nice little sleeveless dress. So I made this seam a lot taller. I did. Alrighty, now then, what we need to do is take this. We're going to take our skirt, turn it wrong side out, okay? To our lining, the pretty side of our lining. Now these are laying wrong sides together. Our lining, see how pretty that is on this side? This is what's going to touch us. Wrong side, this is the outside. Okay, you see that? Wrong sides together. I've got them pinned right here all the way around the top. Okay, just like that. As you can see, this is too big for this. Look at there. So instead of trying to seam it up on the sides with my pockets and all that, I'm just going to put a couple of little pleats. I swear I think the pin fell down and poked me. Probably did. So I'm just going to put a couple of little pleats in it. All right? Which will be perfect. Give me just a little more room across my booty, which I need, but I don't need up in here. So, this is what we do. This is our back. This is the center of our back. Pretty sides together, the center of our back, right here. Match that up, just like that. Put a pin in it, okay? Our sides, right here. Match those side seams up and put a pin in it, okay? Same thing on this side. Match your side seams up, which is the side seam, right there. Got several little seams all coming together right there. There's the side seam, and put a pin in it, all right? Center front seam, center front seam right here. Match those up, and you guessed it, we're going to put a pin in it. Right like that. Okay, now then, to find the center of this and this, because we need to know where to put our pleat and how big of a pleat to make, we're going to bring those together, right like this, and we're going to put a pin. Y'all, this is not rocket science. This does not have to be perfect, okay? Because as my mama used to say, nobody can tell the difference on a galloping blankety blank. Anyway, that's what she'd call me. A galloping mule, but she used another word. I won't say, because I don't want them to ding me. All right, so here we go. Match that right there and put those together, okay? We got those two pinned together. All right, as you can see, we've got just a little bit more right here. So I'm going to come over to where this is, take this, and pull it, okay? Just however much it needs to come to make it work. Trying to do it upside down so you all can see. Same thing with this one. Okay, I'm going to put that pin this way. Right here, we just need to bring this over. Put a little tiny pleat in it right there. Okay, just like that. Actually, it needs to go the other way, doesn't it? Bring it in. And fold it over. Is that right? Okay. On this side, we're going to do the same thing. Going to find our center, which I'd already found it right here. And we're going to fold this over. Right like that. And then this fits nicely across there. On the front, here we go. Going to find the center and the center by pulling the center together and that side seam together right here. See that? We're going to mark it with a pin. And we're going to pull this up here and we're going to mark this one with a pin. Then we're going to do this right here and we're going to see where this falls. We're going to try to tuck it a little bit that way. And tuck it to the center right there. Ouch. I just poked myself. No, I think I've got these upside down. No, I don't. That's right, because I don't want... That's right. I got it right. I'm about ready for bed, y'all. All right, let's find our center. Right there and right here. And put a pin so I'll know where it's at. That's all these pins right here are doing, is just tell me where it is. Right like that. And right like that. All right, now then, we're just about finished. Still got to hem it. Yes, we do. We still have to hem it. But I'm going to serge this all the way around because I want this to be a nice finished edge, okay? On the inside, because it's the only seam that will be on the inside of our dress, okay? And I'm just going to start right here on the side seam, wherever I can find one right here. And I'm going to start sewing right here. And I'm going to be back and I'll show y'all what it looks like when I get it sewn, okay? All right, here's our dress. We've just got to hem it. Look at this. And it turned out cute. It turned out adorable. Cuter, cuter, cuter than I expected. All right, so to hem it, I'm going to run my serger around here and around here. This one I'm going to turn up an inch. Maybe 1.5 inches all the way around and top stitch it. This one I'm going to turn up about 1/2 inch all the way around and top stitch it. Once I get it serged and there won't be anything left to fray. And then our dress will be finished. Yay! Yay, yay, yay! So I'm just going to go right around here. I know this is loud. I'm just going to stitch all the way around here and turn it up and top stitch my hem in it. Okay, here's my dress. Got it on. Would I recommend this pattern? No, I would not. And I'll tell you why I would not recommend this pattern. Here's the pattern. And it's by Melanie Pattern. This Melanie Pattern. It's the Kimberly dress, it says. It looks adorable. Cute as it can be. And they show it just a dress. They don't show it a jumper with something under it. I sewed this piece up right here. And it's still too low. I have on a sports bra. So, you know, I'm kind of covered. But it needs to come on up. Or at least I think it does. I'm not a fan. It did not fit well. I cut it by the size that I measured myself to be. And it's way, way, way too big. You cannot go by the measurements on this pattern. You cannot go by the size on this pattern. Then I cut it down 2 sizes from what my measurements said for me to make. And it's still too big. So it's going in the Etsy store. I don't know what the price point's going to be because I got to figure out how much fabric I've got and how much is in it. These things like this that I make for you all, I just try to recoup what I've got in it. I don't try to make any money off of it because I've made the video. Okay? So y'all can get some good deals on one-of-a-kind clothing this way. This fits about like an extra large. I'm a large, medium to a large. This fits more like an extra large. It's still way too big on me. It's just too big everywhere. Will I wear it? No, I won't because it's just too big. I think it's adorable. I think it turned out precious. But it'll be a brand new dress to go to somebody's home that can wear it. It is, I've got it, I'm 5'2", and you can see it's right at my knee, mid-knee. So if you're taller, it's going to be shorter on you. And I actually wanted it a little shorter. I wanted it to be about right above my knee because I would wear shorts under it. Will I make this pattern again? I don't know. I really love it, and I want to love it. Is it easy to make? It was for me, but it's not a good beginner pattern because it doesn't fit, and you're going to be frustrated because it doesn't fit. And you're not going to be happy with it because it doesn't fit. Okay? So, if you're an experienced seamstress and you know how to adjust patterns to make them fit you, like I had to this one, then it's a cute dress. And, you know, good year-round pattern. You can layer it if you want to. Like I said, I don't like the way it fits. It is just too... And I like my clothes big, you all. I do. I like to wear things big. And I wanted this little dress to be kind of big and cool. But I'm not real happy with the way it looks. It's just too much, I think. But I do think it turned out really cute. I like the red on the top, and I like all the prints that's in it. I hate I used my layer cake. I do. But I did. Oh well, that's it. It's over. It's done. It's used. I made a cute little dress for one of you all to go to Etsy and buy this little dress. Okay? Y'all get on there, buy this dress, let me ship it to you so we can make something else. I can take the money and buy more fabric to make something else that maybe I can wear next time. Good idea? I think that's an excellent idea. But that's going to be all for this video, and this was a long one. And I apologize for it being so long. But it is what it is, as they say. It took that long. I had to remake the top because that top was like a 5X or something. It was so big. And it was supposed to have been an extra large because I wanted it big. So I thought, okay, the large is going to be very small. It would fit, but it would be tight. I didn't want it tight, so I made the extra large. Well, I probably, in retrospect, need to go back and cut it at a medium or a small. But that's not what their measurements told me to do. So, unless you are an experienced seamstress and really know how to make patterns fit, I wouldn't buy it. Will I buy any more of her patterns? Probably not because of this. And I did buy this pattern, and I'm just very disappointed because I loved it. I loved it. But I won't make another one. I won't waste my time or my fabric to make another one. Okay? So, I do have some more patterns that we're going to give a try. I've got some tops. I've got a skirt. I've got top skirt. Another romper. We're going to make a shorts romper. Cute. But when I find patterns that I like that fit, that are easy, the directions are easy to follow. Now, these directions were very easy to follow. Had great directions. But the sizing is just so off that there is just, I would not recommend it. So, wait for the next video to see what we do make that does fit, that I am in love with. And I'll see you all in the next one. And thanks for watching.